Okay. Hey, I'm so excited, everybody. We're starting this new series, and we are just going to be interviewing our newer diamonds that have promoted to diamond in 2017. And so I think it'll be so awesome to hear from them and to figure out like what they're doing to kind of be successful and to get to the rank of diamond. As well. So I'm super excited that we have Alyssa and Nicole on here tonight. And I'm super excited to talk to Nicole because I haven't actually heard anything about her story or kind of what her journey looked like. So I'm excited to kind of talk to her about that too. So Nicole, if you can just go ahead and kind of share a bit about like your story and how you went diamond and your journey throughout joining, like when you joined all that stuff.
Okay. So I was actually, before anybody ever approached me, I'd actually ordered their wraps because we were going on a cruise with a bunch of friends and I wanted to try them. And I was struggling with the whole belly area. So I tried them and I instantly fell in love. And so like I was a loyal customer for like 8 months and I ordered like maybe 4 or 5 times. And I ordered them again for our wedding. But that's how I kind of knew about It Works. But I didn't really know anything other than just being a loyal customer and the wraps. I didn't know anything about any of the other products. So then I got married last May, and I think about July we went to the beach as a family, and we really shouldn't have went because we were still in debt due to our wedding, and we couldn't really enjoy ourselves like we wanted to at the beach. We had to like just stay at the hotel, go to the beach, do the free stuff because we didn't really have that money. And anyways, because I was determined to take my baby girl to the beach. And while I was there, I seen a girl named Autumn. I don't know if y'all know her, but she's not upline. But she posted a status talking about how you can make extra money. Of course, I was interested, but then when she messaged me, I realized it was a MLM, multi-level marketing company, and I was like, no, not gonna happen. And so I kind of ignored her. She kept messaging me, and I was like, no, I don't want nothing to do with you. Keep going. She literally kept messaging me. I pretty much told her she was wasting her time. And then she really didn't give up on me, and that's the reason I'm here, because she didn't give up. So fast forward about 3 to 4 weeks, sorry. Me and Garrett, my husband, were talking about how we were going to pay off our wedding. We had the best wedding. It was perfect, but we were in debt to it. Our credit card was really, really high, almost max. And I was like, we're never going to get ahead, ever. And so I was like, okay, I like the wraps. They worked. I'll message her. I'll give into that. So I did. Sorry, my voice is going out, if y'all can understand me. But so I messaged her and we talked about it, and I literally probably asked her 1,000 questions to the point where she was probably annoyed with me, because I had never even considered like Mary Kay, 31. Everyone was always trying to get me to do a simple party. I wouldn't even do a party for them, so let alone was I going to sell it. But I signed up, and my first month, all I told myself was, just make your $100 back. Don't waste it. Just make your $100 back. You don't have the money to spend, so just make it back. And so I wasn't really going in for anything. I thought I was going to fail. I went in for failure. But she showed me what to do, how to do it. And the first month I ended up bringing home around $500 between fast start bonuses and commissions and selling my wraps and stuff. And I signed up during double wrap, like when you got the BOGO wrap. So I had 8 wraps. So I used some, sold some. So fast forward a little bit more. I went Ruby 3 months in, learned the $500 bonus, and I was pumped. I was boxed for Emerald. I was ready to go. Well, then Thanksgiving and Christmas came around, and I found out I was pregnant. And I was staying sick all the time. I had no desire to do anything, let alone post on Facebook. Like, that's how sick I felt for myself, I guess. I was pity. But and then my whole team quit on me, but they stopped. Like, I literally went from being Emerald to nothing. I wasn't even an executive, or almost Emerald to nothing. And my whole entire attitude about the whole company changed. It wasn't that I didn't think it would work. It's just I gave up on myself. I didn't have I wasn't inspired like I was. I didn't have the motivation to continue. I kept talking to Autumn, and she kept talking me back into it. And I didn't really want to quit. I just didn't think I'd ever be good enough to go high enough. or high like I wanted. Like I didn't think I'd keep ranking higher, especially since I went from almost emerald to nothing again. I had 3 distributors. So January came around, we decided to go to conference, went to conference. Of course, if you didn't go to conference, you missed out. That changed everything. We found out what the bonuses were, and I was like, and I even told myself sitting in conference, I'll never get that $10,000 bonus. I have 3 distributors underneath me, and one of them are my husband, and I'm working him. I just had no idea. Like even Autumn was like, yeah, girl, you'll get it. And I'm like, you're crazy. I'm not going to get that. Like I literally have 3 DTs underneath me. Do you know what it takes to go diamond? Well, I went diamond, and the reason I literally went from 3 DTs to diamond, and then I went from having around 3,000 BV or GV to over 13,000 GV last month. Did it in 1 month, and that's because I actually believed in myself. I put my head down and I did it. I didn't let no one stop me. Didn't let the negativity get to me. I got over myself. That's what you have to do. And I believed in myself. I put the blinders on and I stayed focused. And that's what I did. I just filled volume. I didn't take no for an answer. I said, okay, that's next week. I'll message you again. I just kept on and kept on and kept on. And I went diamond. And I still can't believe it. It's crazy to think that I'm even going double diamond this month. But it's an incredible experience to watch yourself go from promoting to dropping and ranking back up because you believed in yourself. It's all about that. It's not about who you know or what secret tips you have. It's about believing in yourself, and you're going to go as far as you want to go.
Yes, that's so true. I love that. That's so awesome. I know it's so crazy too. Like when I look back at like when I went from ruby to diamond too, and it was like 4,000 to 17,000 in 1 month. It's just crazy what can happen in 1 month, you guys. And like she said, like it's all about believing in yourself. I'm going to come back because I have some questions for you. But Alyssa, I want you to kind of share your story with everybody too about your road to diamond and when you started and all that stuff.
Okay, well, first of all, Nicole, that's amazing. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Okay, so my name is Alyssa, and I'm a diamond leader with It Works. And I started back in December, but I'm going to go back and give you a little recap. So I graduated in May of 2015 from Ohio University, and I got my bachelor's degree in communication sciences and disorders, which is like pre-speech therapy. So I graduated in May, and then in the fall of 2015, I applied to 6 graduate schools because I really can't do anything. I knew I couldn't do anything with my bachelor's degree. So I applied to 6 graduate schools. I got waitlisted to 1, and I got an interview to 1. So the process is you apply in the fall, you figure out in the spring if you get in. So I went to my interview. I was waiting on the wait list, and come to find out, I didn't get in. I didn't get into 6 schools. So it was a huge shot to my heart. You know, I thought I'm a big planner, and I'm just like, this is my plan. Like, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I didn't get into all of these schools. What am I going to do with my life now? So at the time, I was a substitute teacher, and I was a substitute teacher for the whole year. And this past year in 2016, I was convincing myself that I would reapply to graduate school. I thought, okay, I guess this is what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to reapply to graduate school because I can't do anything with my bachelor's degree. So pretty much I was just doing a lot of convincing, just convincing myself to go to school when really deep down, it's not really what I wanted to do. I never had this driving passion to become a speech therapist. I don't know why, I just didn't. I'm the type of person that when I start something, I go all in and I do it. So I got my bachelor's degree, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to continue and get my master's degree. So, you know, I'm doing all this convincing, trying to tell myself that I'm going to go back to school. But finally, it just came to the point where I was like, you know what, screw this. I'm not going to go and get my master's degree in something that I don't even want to do that much. So this was in the fall of 2016. And in November, a couple months later, I went out to see my sister. My sister lives in Las Vegas. I went out to see her, and she had told me about a month previously about this girl named Kelsey. she kept talking about this girl named Kelsey and how she was making all kinds of money. And I'm like, okay, well, what is she doing? And my sister said, I don't know. She's like selling these wraps or something. I'm like, okay, so she's making all kinds of money selling wraps. That doesn't even make sense. So come to find out, we're a lot more than just wraps. But so she started 2 weeks prior to me going out and visiting her. I went out, I tried some of her products. She had the greens and the ThermoFit. I tried the greens and the ThermoFit for a week while I was out in Vegas. Mind you, okay, this is Thanksgiving. We're stuffing our face like we're getting donuts every day, you know. So I did the greens for a week and the ThermoFit for a week. I get home, okay, I weigh myself. I had lost 3 pounds after a week and a half of doing the greens and the ThermoFit. I had lost 3 pounds. And I'm just like, holy crap, like maybe this stuff really works. And my sister and I are a lot alike in the fact that we're like organic people, I guess. And I thought about like joining a company like this, but I couldn't find one that had like organic products that were natural, products that I could see using myself and giving to my family, giving to my loved ones. So not only the fact that we have all plant-based products, but that we have a product that no one else has. I was just like, oh my gosh, like no one else has this product. Like people can't go to Target, people can't go to Walmart to get this product. They have to come to me. So that is huge. And also, I was one of the first to bring it back to my hometown in Greenfield. I live in like a little village. No one had heard about It Works where I live. So yes, I was scared that I'm not going to have anyone to sell this to. Like maybe no one will buy this off of me. But you know what? I'm going to try. It's $99. I didn't have the $99 to start up. I had to borrow it from my parents. And I started on December 1st of 2016. 48 days later, I went Ruby. And this past month in March, I went Diamond. So I went Diamond in 4 months. I just saw the vision. We get paid 5 different ways. And I just thought, you know what? I paid $99. Okay, my parents paid $99 to start me. But we paid $99 to start into this business. So why not give it my all? Why not like just go, you know, crazy right now? Because I'm not doing anything. Like I'm an aide out of school. So I have all this free time. So I figured, why not give it my all? And that's what I did. I went Diamond last month in 4 months. Like I said, I'm going double this month. And it's just been such a crazy experience. And, you know, the money is amazing. Don't get me wrong. The money is amazing. But the friendships that I have made with this business, that's irreplaceable. I have made, like, my best friends from this business. People I've only known for 3 or 4 months. You know, I'm flying out to Phoenix to see one of my friends this month. I'm going to Florida with all my friends in June with this business. And it's just been such a crazy, fun adventure. Like, it's great, like, if you're in it for the money, and that's what I am. Like, money's my motivation. But everything I've learned along the way and all the friendships I've made, it's irreplaceable. And it's been the most amazing adventure yet. And I'm just so excited to continue with this business.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love your passion list. Seriously. So I love that you guys are on here together because your journeys have been totally different, like, you know, like totally different. And so I feel like everybody can relate to like each of your journeys. Like at least one person on here is going to be able to relate to either one of you, because I feel like there's no like in betweens. So Nicole, I'm going to start with you. What kind of change? Like you went to conference, obviously, and you know, but you said even at conference you were sitting there thinking like, how am I going to do this? What do you think kind of changed your mindset as far as like being able to like actually believe in yourself to get it done? Because I think a lot of people will say like, oh yeah, I'm going Diamond. Oh yeah, I'm going Diamond. But like only a few people actually go Diamond. So what kind of convinced you?
Well, I think it's a lot of different things, but I think the main thing is that the fact that I am pregnant and I am going to have another daughter in July. And so I already have to, take one daughter to daycare and make her stay there all day and then go to work and worry about who's taking care of her, because we all know how it is. You can't never really trust anybody. And we've had some incidents, nothing huge, but some incidents that has made us uncomfortable with her even being in daycare. And so the thought of her, putting a 7-week-old child into a daycare literally frightens me. And I'm like, I just can't do it, Garrett. I've never wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I've worked since I was 14. I was cleaning houses to be able to buy my first car. I get up on Saturday morning when I could sleep into 12 with my mom at 7:30 and go clean 3 to 4 big houses, and I would only get $70 a day. That's what I was doing at 14 years old. So to me, it was like a whole life change. I was like, okay, I want to stay at home. At least for 6 months. I cannot go back to work. So I was like, the only way I'm going to do that, the only way I can stay at home but still bring in the income, because there's no way we could afford it, is to go diamond. And I talked to Autumn multiple different times. I was like, why I'm here. You know what I need. Do you really think I can do this? And she never, ever gave up hope. She's like, go back to the reason, why did you join? Why did you join in the first place, and stay with that reason? And that's what I did. I went back to the very beginning. I joined because I needed the money. I'm here. I still need the money. And so that's what made me really good. I pushed for it. I didn't let no one stop me. I have to get up at 4 o'clock every morning to be at work at 6 o'clock, because we live at I have to get ready, and then I'm an hour away. And so normally I'm in bed by 8 o'clock, and they know that. Half my team knows that. I'm not going to reply to them, but maybe I push it out an hour, and that doesn't seem like a lot to y'all, but to me it is. Just going a little extra, putting more into it, and not letting nothing stop you is going to get you a lot further than you work. And that it's just putting your head down. That's what it is, putting your head down and doing it and saying you're not taking anything less than what you want. And diamond was what I wanted.
Yes. Okay, Liz, what qualities, Aaron asked, what qualities are you looking for in a team member that you eventually see in a leadership role?
I want someone who's passionate, someone who's going to, get into this business and go all in like me, because I'm a very passionate person, and my passion for this business is what drives me to get where I'm at. It's what drives me to get up and be excited about my day, that I get to talk to all of these new people and, put something in their lives that might actually change their lives forever. So I want someone who's going to be passionate, someone who, is going to go all out with this business. Yeah. Because I'm willing to work with you if you're willing to work too.
Right. And one thing too that I wanted to touch on is Alyssa had rolled with her sister, who also doesn't do that much anymore with this business. Okay. And Alyssa could have just sat in her little pity party and just been like, oh, my upline, I don't have an upline, whatever people want to say. But what she did was she found me and she was like, okay, I need some help. Here, can you answer some of my questions? And she didn't sit on her butt. She didn't wait around for somebody to come help her. She was just willing and able to be the one to ask questions. And I think Joel Dunn said it, but it's the squeaky mouse in this business, you guys, gets the oil. If you want help, go ask for it. Don't wait for somebody, and don't feel bad for yourself if nobody's coming to you asking questions. We can't read your mind, okay? So you guys need to come and ask questions to the person. Maybe if they didn't even enroll you, maybe it's your upline's upline, but always go and figure out where you can get that answer. Nobody's going to be mad if you're asking questions, okay? That's what we want you guys to do. And that's why we host these things, so you guys can get the most information and learn from the people who have been there and who have done it. I mean, we all started with the same $99 business builder kit. Okay. Don't get that twisted. Somebody else asked me the other, so did you just start with the 4 wraps and no customers and no distributors under you? I'm like, yes. When I signed up, it was my solo name and eSuite, solo, that's it. So I get it. And I know it can seem there's so much in front of you. When you look at that diamond chart and you're just oh my gosh, this is so much. What am I going to do? How is this going to happen? But don't think about how it's going to happen, you guys. Think about just taking that one step, finding that one person, keep taking that one step forward, and you will eventually look up and you'll get there. But that's what we mean by having our blinders on. That's what we mean by just putting your head down and working. Because if you do a checklist every day, if you do income producing activities, you'll look up and you'll have 6 people signing and you're like, oh my gosh, they all signed 2 people. Oh my gosh, what in the heck is happening? So you guys just need to really remember that it's not, don't overcomplicate it. It's, you know, just do the steps of success and do what you think is income producing activities. So Nicole, what kind of are you doing now, or what have you taught yourself to do for like motivation or self-development? I don't really like using the word motivation because I feel like, you know, it needs to be more from within. And I feel like motivation is like, you know, getting on one of these talks, or you're jumping on a motivational YouTube speech. I think that's more motivation, but being disciplined enough to kind of do this every day, even on those days when you don't feel like it because you wake up at 4 a.m.
Well, I can say that when the thought of going, like staying at home, it still kind of freaks me out because I've never done it. And I'm like, you know, if I do stay at home, this business, like I have to continue this business. Like I can't just not do something. I have to continue to do it. And you have to be self-motivated to do that. And so what I've been doing is like, I literally make myself plan my post, because used to I would be like, oh, I'll just do it later. And then I would never plan my post. And so I caught myself scrambling for time to post while I was at work, because I do work full time still. And so I've disciplined myself. Like I have to plan my post. I have to make sure I send messages. I put down what I'm going to do. If I don't do it by the end of the day, I feel defeated, and I don't like to feel defeated. And so I'm going to do it. So, and then I don't know, a lot of y'all know, I listen to Caleb all the time, and that itself lifts me up. It's like a contemporary Christian station, and in the mornings, that's what I like to listen to, because it makes me just feel better as a person. And so I don't literally YouTube a lot, because I am at work during the day and I come home, I do the mom duties. So I just try to listen to something that's going to keep me inspired and keep me going. So I discipline myself, and I just kind of listen to that kind of music, and I go every single day. Like, that's how I do. I have my bad days. I slack, and I know I do, but I'm working on that, because I know that my family's going to be depending on this. And I know that I want double diamond. I know that eventually I'm going to want triple diamond. Like, I know that it's all in my future. And that's what me and my husband have planned out, because we want more. We want to be able to go out and buy what we want and not have to worry about it. Like, just by going diamond, we've been doing everything for the nursery, which is a blessing to us in general, because we have that extra income. Like, I'm making more with it worse than I am at my full-time job. Like, that's exactly just the commissions, not the fast start bonuses, not the Rat Crash included, just the commissions. I'm making more with it worse than I am bringing home, because I get paid literally the same day from my full-time job, and it works once a month, and the check's higher. And that's what blows my mind. So I know that I have to discipline myself, and I have to stay motivated. And so that's what I do. I make sure I do it.
Yeah. And like the cool thing, like for you, is like, you know, that like if you don't do it, like what those checks could look like.
Yeah, because it went from like all the way up here to like I was getting higher and higher to nothing. And I was just like we were using that to be able to go spend and do. And then all of a sudden nothing was coming in when everybody quit, and I gave up on myself. And I was like, what am I doing? Why am I even in this business if I'm not going to work it?
Yeah. So, and yeah. I think too, that's something that like motivates me. I know that like, cause I'm like, there's no way I could ever go back to 9 to 5. So like every day when I'm like, I don't feel like messaging, I'm like, it's not even an option. Like, that's just part of what I do. So like, you know, I'd much rather get no's sitting on my phone, like typing on my couch, than like have to go to a 9 to 5 or go to a job. So I think that that's one thing that we all kind of want to kind of keep in mind, is like, if that why is out in front of you, like you mentioned earlier, if that reason for joining is like right in front of your face all the time, then there's no reason and no excuse you should have for not doing your 6 list or not making sure you're getting all those things done. Okay, Liz, what do you do for self-development?
Okay, so in the morning on my way to work, I will listen to top leaders. This is how I went diamond last month. I had Stephanie and Joel in my ear. I had Jocelyn Yates in my ear. I had Alyssa Billieu in my ear. I had someone who knows what they're doing, who's already made their mistakes, telling me what to do. So if it were distributors that I was focusing on, I would go, to a YouTube video and look for how to sign 20 distributors in a month or something like that. And I don't watch the video. I don't do that when I'm driving, but I listen to it. I have it over my speakers. And then when I get to work, because I have a job that allows me to work while I'm at work, so I'm like ready. I'm so ready. Like I have all these tips and it's in my head. It's fresh in my head and I'm using them all day. I see what works for me, what doesn't work for me. So that really, really helped me. I really think it helped me go diamond last month.
Yeah.
I was learning from people who knew what they were doing.
Yeah, I love that. And like letting them kind of teach you from their mistakes instead of you going and making those mistakes yourself.
Yeah.
So I love that. What do you say to people when they message you and ask like, how do I know you?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, it's really funny. I don't know if I would recommend doing this, but okay, so I'll think of someone I know from my hometown and I'll be like, oh yeah, girl, I thought you knew like Amber Kinsley. And she'll be like, no, I don't know who that is. And I'll just say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like something, I'll just say something like that. I thought I saw you with her the other day, or I don't know. And she'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, okay, well, I'm sorry. I hope we can still be friends. And then they're totally cool with it. Like they're not thrown off by it at all. They don't think I'm a creeper. And then we have this conversation going. So I'll be like, oh, your little girl's so cute. Like, have a conversation. I don't know if I recommend doing that. That's just what I do. It's been working for me. So.
I love that. What do you do, Nicole?
Are you asking, like, what do I say if I have somebody? I've actually never had that. I'll be honest with you. I've never had someone, like, having a different life yet.
Oh, my gosh. I never get that on Instagram, but I always get it on Facebook. And what I always say to them is I'll be like, girl, I'm so sorry. I thought you looked like, I'll say something similar to Alyssa, but like, you look so familiar. Like you literally have a twin walking around and like, we'll just start talking. So that's like, I would say something like that and don't make it awkward. But I was like, and then I'll say something like, but I just creeped your profile. Like I won't say like I did creep your profile before this, but like, because when somebody messages you and you don't know who they are, like the first thing you're naturally going to do is go look at the profile. Right. So like, I'll be like, I just creeped your profile and like, can we be best friends already? And I'll say something about maybe one of their statuses. Like if they post something about like wine, I'll be like, oh my gosh, cheers girl. I'm having one right now or something like, so you guys can just like have a conversation going. Because really I only want to do business with people who like, I want to be friends with. And so like, if somebody is really going to like not be my friend after like me saying something like that, I'm gonna be like, goodbye, see you later. I'll find somebody else who's more fun than you. So that's kind of the mindset that I have. Okay. Nicole, what would be like your one biggest tip to somebody who is pushing for diamond this month?
Just literally ever since I've heard Pam say it, I go for it. I'm like, get over yourself. Because if you're going to sit there and you're going to doubt yourself and you're going to tell yourself you can't and you're going to say it's impossible or
you can't.
If you're going to say all that, then you're not going to go diamond, so you might as well just stop. So if you can just tell yourself you're going to do it, have that faith, get over your fears. I mean, we're all going to have to do them. I mean, Autumn telling me to voice message somebody. I'm like, girl, you are losing your mind. Do you know how fast I talk anyways? They're going to think I'm crazy, but I do it and it's worked. So you have to get over yourself. Like you have to do what you got to do to go diamond or go double diamond or go ruby. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you're doing what your upline and what you know and heard to do, because that's what's going to get you there. They're not going to tell you anything that's going to hurt you.
I llove that. I love that so much. Pam Saller is the queen. Seriously, like goals. Like seriously, she's goals for me.
Yes.
Okay, Liz, what is your tip for one person? Like if you have somebody on your team going for diamond and they're like, what do I need to do? What's the first thing you're going to tell them?
I would tell them to get their mind right every morning, as far as self-development, whatever works for you, because some people need to listen to like K-Love, like Nicole does. And some people need to, like for me, I need to listen to top leaders because like I'm ready to go when I hear those tips. But like, it is so true that this mind is a mental game. It really is. And, there's days that I'm just like, throwing myself a pity party. Like, I don't know if I can go double this month. I don't know if I can do it. But like, if you have got to get your mind right, you have got to listen to Steve Harvey or someone who's going to, throw some fire up under your butt and get you ready to go, because it is a game. It really is.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So one other question that I want to ask you guys, and I both want you guys to answer this. Nicole, you can go first, but when we joined this business, we obviously joined for money reasons, right? and our whys change throughout it. But one thing we don't necessarily sign up for is the leadership part of it. We don't know really what that is. A lot of times we haven't been in a leadership role like in a really long time, if ever. So what is like your biggest advice for like being a leader and like what you've learned along that path? Because, you know, it's messy. Like it was for me for sure, like learning and like messing up and stubbing my toe and scraping my chin. I felt like I was doing that left and right. Like what is something that as a leader that you would give advice to like people who are stepping into that leadership role that are emerging leaders? What advice would you give to them?
At first I was so worried, like even just people like not really being in a leader position, but like being Ruby, having someone underneath you. I was like, oh my God, I have to make sure they like me. I have to make sure that I don't make them mad. If they find out I help this person, then I'm going to have to help that person. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Like you help who's helping you. You help working, the people that are working. If they're not working, don't worry about them. Just move on, keep going. Like you can't focus on the people that's not working or go out looking for people that's not, that new people that might work. You need to focus on people that is working underneath you. And if you sign friends, don't let that friendship get in the way of the business part. I'm learning that myself this month. I have friends that I've signed and I'm like, oh, and like deep down inside, I'm like, I want you to succeed like I'm succeeding because I love you. We've been best friends forever, but I can't do that. I have to do what's right. Like I have to do what's right by my whole team. And so just make sure you separate the business side and friendship side. Just keep them separate and explain to them, this is nothing personal, but this is business. We've got to keep it that way. When we're hanging out, not talking business, you know, you're my girl, but you know, when we're talking business, don't get offended if I'm not your BFF. Like I'm just being real with my team. And so, you know, I have multiple people on my chart now that I'm trying to place on my double diamond, and I'm like, it really is it's up to you. Do you want it? If you want it, you have to work for it. And they're learning that the hard way. And I guess, I mean, some people may get offended by it, and it also depends on what their personality is. You know, you have to talk to them that way too. Like I'm a red and a blue mixture, so I'm just like, this is what you gotta do, this is what you gotta get done. I'm sorry for hurt your feelings. Like that's just kind of how I am, but you have to realize how other people are too. So just get to know your team, stay in touch, and make sure you keep the business and friendship separate, because that's the big deal.
I love that. Like one tip that I got from somebody is literally like when you're dealing with friends and like business partners that are like one, is like literally prefacing the conversation and saying like, okay, I'm going to talk to you right now as like a business partner and not as like your friend, and like literally letting them know right off the bat that that's the conversation you're going to have, or be like, hey girl, I'm talking to you as a friend. Like this has nothing to do with business. So like, I think that doing that and making sure you're clear about like those lines, and maybe even before they start, you know, especially if they weren't one of the first people to join you, if they've joined you after watching you for a little bit, you kind of have some time under your belt just to be like, you know what, yes, like I want you to join and I want this business to work for you, but you have to know something that like, just because you're my friend doesn't mean that like, I'm going to build you, or I'm going to place under you, or I'm going to do whatever that might mean.
Right. I had to learn that myself though, because like when I first signed in Autumn, I was one of the first people that signed with her and actually was working and promoting. And I was like, I'm her girl. Like I had this ego in my head, and then she started signing more people in the building, and I seen that like other people were promoting. And I'm like, oh God, I have to step my game up. Like this is my problem. This is my chart. This is my job. This is my business. Like I have to do it. So like at first I was like, oh, well, if I need this person, she'll hand them to me. But now I'm like, no, I have to get this. I'm not going to look for help. If it comes, thank you, Jesus. If not, you gotta keep moving. I mean, that's just what you look at it.
Yeah, for sure. Never expect anything. That is definitely like, you know, and I say that too. Like, if I'm 20 people from Prez, I'm finding those 20 people. I'm not waiting for my team to find those 20 people, because right. You know what, I'm going Prez whether nobody works or not. So, I mean, it might be easier if they work, but you kind of just have to say like, you know, you're gonna work. Like you're going to find those people, and it's just a bonus or the cherry on top if other people are doing that for you. Okay, Liz, what would you say has been the biggest thing as like a leader that you've learned that you kind of would like to go back and tell your former self?
Yeah, so regardless if you're promoting or not, make sure that you are in contact every day, you know, with your team. That's not every single member on your team, but like maybe 2 or 3 or 4 people a day. just to see where they're at and, you know, check in on them. And it doesn't always have to be about business. It can just be like, you know, if they're having a hard time, like, hey, how's your day? Stuff like that. But just make sure that you're always in contact with your team. Like, don't just sign them and have these preconceived notions that they're not going to do anything, because maybe they just need your help and they're not asking for it. And also, don't get into management mode. That's one thing I learned, you know, right off the bat. A month in, I think I was getting into major management mode, and I called Kelsey, and Kelsey was like, dude, like 80% instead of like, it should be the opposite, you know, 20-80. So make sure that you're not like getting into management mode, because your team is already like, they're proud of you that you're a diamond, but your team is already like a little intimidated. Like, I want to be there and I want to get there. So you have to make them think that they are worthy of getting there. So that's really to keep in touch with them, figure out what their goals are. Like, where do they go with this? They just want to be an executive, then that's fine. Let's get there and see how you can stay there, you know. So just make sure that am I freezing? Kels.
Yeah, it was like it's like you're frozen. It was like a robot, like, just make sure.
Okay, are we good now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so just make sure that you are in contact with your team, because you wouldn't be a diamond, you wouldn't be a ruby, you wouldn't be anything without your team. So don't think that you're higher up and that, you know, you're just going to keep going or you're going to keep that promotion without your team, because they're your team. You wouldn't be there without them.
Yeah, for sure. One of the biggest things I've learned as a leader is the importance of giving people recognition. And I think that we all can be better at that. And we all, like, whether that means just somebody signing their 4, or whether that means, you know, somebody's killing it, they get in the 400 club, like, we all need to be recognizing and commenting on those team pages when other people do it too, because you know how good it felt to, like, when you had 12 people welcome you to the team pages, or you had 13 people comment on like your promotion when you promoted. So don't forget to go back and repay the favor to other people when they're promoting, because it's just important to give other people recognition on your team too. And those little things can really add up, because it can help them with their confidence. So is there any last tip that you guys want to give before we close out? Or anybody want to ask questions, feel free to go over and do it on the side. Nicole, I'll go with you.
Okay. Are you telling me to ask a question, or are you telling me last tip? Sorry.
Well, if you want to ask a question, feel free to ask Alyssa a question.
That's why I was confused. It's cutting in and out. That's why I was asking. My main advice is just like I said earlier, get over yourself. And I personally wouldn't be here without God. So I remember to thank Him, you know, every day, because if it wasn't for Him, it don't matter how hard I work, I wouldn't be here. It's what He wanted. He gave me the business when I needed it. He autumn reached out to me when I needed it, and I didn't realize it. So, I mean, I just remember that you are not entitled to it. God's letting you have this opportunity, and you need to be thankful for it every single day.
Yes, I love that. What about you, Liz?
Yeah, I love what Nicole said about get over yourself. You know, if you're not signing distributors or you're not signing loyal customers, it's okay to throw yourself a pity party for a little bit, but you're going to have to get over yourself, and you're going to have to put your head down and get to work. If something's not working, then reach out to your sponsor or watch YouTube videos. That's what I do when something's not working for me. I either reach out to Kelsey if it's something that needs done right now, or if it's something that needs developed over time, I will watch YouTube videos and teach myself. Because those top leaders, you know, they're making these videos for us to help us. So why not expand on your knowledge and use, you know, tools that we have for us? So yeah, I love what Nicole said. Get over yourself. It's okay to throw yourself a pity party for a little bit, but eventually you're going to have to get your head down and get to work if you want to be diamond, or if you know, even want to be ruby.
Yes. I love it. You guys are so awesome. I'm so proud of both of you. $10,000 going for $30,000 this month. Like, you girls better get it. I'm so excited for you guys. Are both so deserving. And the last thing I wanted to touch on too is Nicole touched on it, but just know that you guys are worthy, but also make sure you know where you're going. Like, know what your goals are. Know like how many distributors, how many loyal customers, what you're doing every day. Have a plan, because if you don't have a plan, then it's a plan to fail. What did somebody says, like a man without a plan is a plan to fail, or something like that. So just make sure you guys have a plan, have goals set, and helping your teams do that as well, because your goals should be something that you're going to be able to kind of like check yourself, instead of being like, oh, I'm just going through the month. It's already April 9th. What the heck? Like, no, like you should have like, oh, I've already filled 1 subsistence sets, or oh, I've already signed 2 distributors and 1 loyal customer. Like whatever those goals are, check yourself weekly, because that's how you're gonna really kick yourself in the butt and be like, okay, I got to get going. I got to step on my game, or I'm doing a good job. I need to keep it up exactly what I'm doing. So thank you guys all for hopping on. We're gonna be doing these weekly. I'm going to be interviewing just some different diamonds each week so you guys can get the best tips. But I really, really appreciate all of you guys jumping on. And thank you so much to Alyssa and Nicole, and congratulations. Bye, guys.
Bye.